What's up and welcome back to Interpreting the Stars. Today, we're talking about a newer film that I haven't gotten around to until now. It's Antebellum. This movie, man, I had the weirdest experience with it because after seeing it, I was honestly kind of blown away. I had the greatest time with it, went online to see what others thought about it, and the critics hate it. They hate it. Rotten Tomatoes has it scored at 28%. Other critics that I'm subscribed to on YouTube have also been underwhelmed, and here I am thinking they must have seen a different movie than I did because it was actually one of the better experiences I had with film all year. It is profoundly confusing to me that others just get nothing out of it. Even after I review the thing, I doubt I'll find the quasi-datum. Let's get cracking. This review is brought to you by the word of the day, quasi-datum, the answer to a problem. Antebellum primarily interweaves two stories that seem to be going on simultaneously. One appears to be taking place in the Deep South during the height of slavery as one woman named Eden tries desperately to discover a surefire way to escape captivity, while the other story seems to take place in present day with another woman named Veronica, played by the same actress, as she works as a sociologist trying to give black women a voice. Throughout the film, each woman deals with a number of mysteries where past and present seem to collide in more ways than one. This movie is incredibly difficult to talk about without just giving everything away. Right from the get-go, there are mysteries and revelations as to what's actually happening in the movie that are honestly kind of nuts, and it's simply something that would be a whole heck of a lot easier to talk about if I could just spoil you on everything, but alas, I will not do that. Just know that plot-wise, I consider this to be really smart and really original, and the political social commentary on where this world could be heading towards isn't lost on me. That's one thing that I keep seeing from reviews, that they just felt that the movie was more random than it was clear, but I argue that instead it's subtle. Not everything has to be heavy-handed in order for you to understand it. Race is the common denominator in this film, where you're either watching Eden in the past as a slave or you're watching Veronica in the present, but each person is dealing with race in a different way. In both stories, you have people that clearly hate people based on the color of their skin, and obviously the thing that I can't tell you about this movie is how the stories connect on a grander scale. Past the plot part of the film, you're looking at the acting, which contains some of the best performances I've seen all year. These people are really stinking good at what they do. The production and costume design of the era each story takes place in is strikingly well done. The visuals of the lighting and cinematography is gorgeous. The editing, swapping back and forth from the past to the present, is expertly handled. From a purely cinematic standpoint, this film stands out, and that alone would have me scoring this movie higher than the critics, but there's so much more to the movie. This is incredibly meaningful, incredibly tense, incredibly relevant. Its brutality and injustice mirrors the things that actually happen in our past and present, especially when you're talking about police brutality towards the black community. It's completely lost on me as to how anybody can watch this movie, miss out on all these things, and then call the whole thing mediocre at best. Truthfully, I have a hard time finding anything negative in the movie. Most of the areas in my scoring spreadsheet that didn't get full points were all just technical things, things that were neither good or bad, like the individual importance of the characters. I mean, there's a ton of characters in this movie. A lot of them don't really contribute that much to the story, only does Eden or Veronica, honestly. The dialogue of the film, same thing. I gave that half points for the same reason. Nothing great or horrible there. The music and sound, it fits the theme of the film, but it isn't anything that I really care to hear again. The narrative resolution, also fine, but it doesn't really return to a new sense of norm. Not really, anyway. I don't know. This is what I mean by technical scores, that my end score isn't perfect by any means, but nothing outwardly stands out as specifically bad either. What is that end score? Well, let's break that down. From an unbiased technical level, I think this film shines. I think it did everything that it needed to do, and then some. It's a gorgeous, meaningful, tense, original film that had me on the edge of my seat all night. I watched this late, and I had every belief in the world that I was probably going to pause it so that I could go to sleep, finish it in the morning, but it captivated me so much. I had to stay up. I had to see how it would all play out. That score is 86%. My personal bias score is really similar to that at 84% because this film blew my mind. I had such a great time with it overall. My total score is 85%, 85 out of 100 possible stars, or a B-letter grade. I was lured into the story and these characters and the subtle messages that it had to tell. I don't know, nor do I think I'll ever know, why this didn't click very well with audiences, but maybe you can let me know. What are your thoughts on Antebellum? Did you enjoy it as much as I did, or are you more like the critics that just didn't get it and thought the whole thing was just pointless? Let me know, and as for YouTube, you guys know what to do. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this review, because there's always more like it coming out each and every single day. Hit the subscribe button and bell to be notified when I come out with my next review, and until then, Peace out.
Dave examines movies we just watch for fun. Davey is the expert. He is the #1 critic that I go to when I need a movie pick. Thanks for joining up with us. We think